Absinthe. It's that mysterious green elixir that you've probably heard about and involves all kinds of crazy stories about hallucinations and tripping out and all these things. Those aren't entirely true. It's been debunked several times. It doesn't necessarily have those properties, but it was banned throughout most of the world for a long time because people believed that it did. It actually wasn't made legal again in the States until 2007, and since then we've seen a resurgence in brands and styles, and there's a lot of options to choose from out there. So we're going to do the absinthe drip in the traditional fashion today using a couple of different kinds. We're going to do St. George absinthe, 2 ounces. And we're also going to use Pacifique. Now these are both domestic, done in the traditional French style. Pacifique is from Washington and St. George is from California. And then we're going to place these under the absinthe drip fountain here and fill them with water over a sugar cube. Now the way this works is you've got crushed ice and water in this basin here. It gets super cold. Take your absinthe glass, place a perforated spoon over the top. And then you're going to place a sugar cube on each one directly under the fountain. And slowly turn this faucet here to let it drip ever so slowly over the sugar cube, dissolving it and dripping down through the holes in the spoon into the glass and slowly filling the glass and chilling the drink. Now there's a couple of different reasons for this. Absinthe in itself is extremely bitter. It's also extremely high in alcohol content. So the sugar cuts the bitterness, making it a little bit more palatable, and the water, filling it with water and diluting it makes it a bit more approachable and kind of lowers that kick a little bit, but not too much. This is still a very powerful cocktail. And back in the late 19th century, early 20th century, especially throughout Europe and France, this was one of the most popular beverages throughout the entire region, and it was consumed by many famous artists and writers, guys like Van Gogh. It was the drink du jour, so to speak, and this is what they all consumed. And it was it probably did to some extent aid in their creative capacities. It definitely has some very special qualities to it, but I would not necessarily go so far as to say that it is hallucinogenic. As you can see, the sugar cube will dissolve and slowly drain down into the glass, creating what's known as a louche. This was, a moment ago, a crystal clear green liquid that is now becoming milky and foggy, and that's the result of the oils and all the herbs and botanicals interacting with the sugar and water. The other great thing about this is, especially with multiple faucets, you can set it on a table or on the bar in front of your guests, and they can determine how strong, how weak, or how diluted they want it to be. They can turn it off as early as they want, or they can let it fill up and become a little less potent. So I'm going to put a little bit more water in there. And we're going to turn that off. Stir in the sugar. And there you have it. Classic absinthe drip, just like you would have had in Paris at the turn of the century. Cheers.